Hey everybody, this is Kareem. I'm an artist, and I thought that it'd be a good idea to go ahead and give everybody sort of a sneak peek into my life as a professional artist by doing a little bit of a studio tour. So let's get to it. So at this point, many of you might be thinking, hey, Kareem, this isn't a studio, this is a garage. And while yes, that might be the case, stop hating because this is my studio. This is where I do the majority of my work. All of the painting that I'm not doing in public, I'm doing in here. That refrigerator, it would be dope if it actually worked, but no, it doesn't. So it's just chilling in the corner. That's probably the only part of this that I don't use. So let's get started from here. This is my regular easel that I use on the most consistent basis. As you can see from all of the paint stains on it. This is a cane. A lot of people ask me about this a lot, but I actually use this to sort of steady my hand while I'm painting, and it gives me like a really nice stable base so that I don't have to put my arm or my hand on the canvas and maybe smear the paint. It's really cool. I got it as hand carved. Here you can see the words Punta Cana. I got it from La Romana. I've never been to Punta Cana in my life. Behind that is like regular garage stuff because this is still a garage a little bit. So, you know, my fishing poles, some camping chairs, some totes, a cooler, little like wine glasses, but this is like my, not the studio corner. So don't pay attention to that except for this. This is my Spirited Palette business card box, which not doing events right now, but I'm excited to start back. Of course, these are the aprons and stuff that I use for my events, for my paint and sip events and stuff like that. Here I have some drop cloths that I use for tablecloths and also for when I'm live painting. I can drop that under my easel so that I don't splash paint all over the place, which is pretty cool. This I don't know what this is. This came with my camera. And so, I mean, I guess I use it when I'm hot. You know, I just spray that. I don't know. I don't know what that is. This is my art box. It's a lot of my smaller materials go in here. Scissors, pencils, markers. These are offset clips for framing. I have some more of those. Erasers, all that kind of stuff. A compass, a straw wrapper. I use that a lot for art, and if you're not a real artist, then you don't, you know, then you don't have one of these. Also, have a bunch of these little easels. These easels I used for my events, Spirited Palette, and they pretty much served as a little personal easel. You sit there at your spot. If you've been to any of my events, then you recognize them. I probably have like 30 of them. Still up against this wall, I have a lot of my just like hard art materials. This is a lot of stuff that goes into painting that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah, I have a respirator mask, that's very useful for when I'm prepping canvases, which you'll probably get to see me do pretty soon. From when I'm using stuff like sealer, primer, and workable fixative, which seals graphite and charcoal onto surfaces without them smudging. I also call this canned cancer because don't inhale it, that's why. This is stuff like picture varnish, painting medium, and I actually just switched over to where a lot of the materials that I use are environmentally friendly, and so I use less of like turpentine and mineral spirits. That way I'm actually safe painting because, as you see, I am in a garage, and during the colder months I have to have this garage door closed because it's cold outside, and I use a space heater to keep it warm, and since there's no ventilation, I would suffocate myself or cause serious lung damage if I was inhaling those types of chemicals. So I started to use more like non-flammable solvents and naturally derivative solvents so that I'm not killing myself. Around here you see some acrylic gesso, some oil painting ground. These are things that I might use to cover the canvas and prime it before I start to paint. Here I have some big old bulk acrylic paints that I used for paint and sip events and group painting events. I have a can of spray paint. I plan on using this for a future project. Here I have some of my paint brushes. I put them in these like big old Luxardo cans that I got. I used to be a bartender, so I was given these by the beverage director, which is pretty cool, and I just use them for storage. I'm definitely gonna use them as a painting for a subject someday. Here I have some recording equipment. This is what I will be using to record podcasts. I got these maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I still haven't gotten a chance to use them really, so I'm excited to finally get that chance. Here is where I keep my paint application objects. Paint brushes, got some big ones. This is a big bucket of sponges. That's a mirror so you can actually see me. Hello. I don't know why I still have it. It came with the garage and I just haven't gotten rid of it yet. Big roller. And I even have some, some of the roller brushes too to put on there. This is here full of my larger bristle paint brushes. This is a big bucket of cloths. I use these for reduction or reductive painting techniques, which means wiping paint off of the canvas in order to create tone and value. This I don't use for art, but this is a Game Boy, a Nintendo DS XL. I still call them Game Boys because I'm in my 30s. Gloves. Gloves have been important because I do paint with oils, and oil paint a lot of them are toxic, even some of the ones that I do use, and I just don't like them getting on my skin, so I keep a box of black nitrile gloves so that I'm protecting myself. This is some stuff I use for framing and hanging artwork. Hanging, I don't know what I think I use this to build my workbench, but then I have like offset clips and stuff in there. It's pretty cool. This is actually face painting stuff. Definitely looking to get into this more and learn how to do more of this because I think it would be awesome to be able to face paint at parties and things. These are the paint brushes that I use for my paint and sip events, like big and bulk, so that I have plenty for everybody. All right, so let's go down here. Oh, this was pretty cool. A long time ago, I went to like an artist as an entrepreneur like seminar, and we got a big binder for it, and it has all kinds of really cool lectures and materials in there to help you work yourself out as an artist. I have some built stretcher bars, and I use those to build my own canvases when I'm using actual canvas. This is just a palette. It's a glass palette that I built myself. I've been building my own canvases for years now, but it's pretty cool. I love using it. Of course, I got some tools. This is the saw that I use to cut my canvases out of wood board, plywood. So that's a really handy tool. Over here, I have some lighting equipment. This is what I use to light scenes or still lifes when I'm working from life, or I'll use them to light my environment when I'm painting live in a dimly lit room, which is pretty cool. These are plywood boards that I cut my canvases from, and you'll see some of my cut and finished canvases too, like when I get over to that part of my studio. These are some frames that I salvaged. I like to find frames, disassemble them, and then use them to frame some of the work that I do. And it's pretty cool, pretty affordable. Obviously I won't use them for more expensive works or people who are paying for a new frame, but I think it's a good way to kind of recycle and make sure these things stay in heavy rotation while they still have some life in them. These are some of my cut canvases. This is already sealed and sanded, finished. So all I need to do is gesso that and I can start painting on it. It's a pretty big board. This one is 24 by 32. That's gonna be a pretty cool piece. These are big boxes of 16 by 20 canvases. I use them for painting events. Pretty handy. I can buy them in these packs of 40, which is really dope. This is a finished canvas from wood. It's smooth and sanded. This one is 16 by 20, and I'll actually be using this soon for a commission project. This is more lighting, soft lighting. It's pretty cool. It fits right on that tripod once you take the other light off. That's a water picture. I'm not really sure what I did with this or why it's here. This is a PlayStation that I use for Netflix and a TV that I use to watch it when I'm in the studio painting and I don't want to get bored. That's what I do. I put on Netflix and I watch some movies, or I just listen to them, because I'm not the type of painter who needs everything to be super quiet and chill and utterly focused in order for me to get into my rhythm. This is a work in progress. You'll get to see what that's going to look like soon. Oh, this is really cool. This is a drawing table that I repurposed into a portable canvas, or not canvas. This is a drawing table that I repurposed into a portable easel. How do I keep messing this up? It's a palette. This is a drawing table that I repurposed into a portable palette. You see the branding? You see the branding? That's nice, ain't it? And see, it's got wheels so I can roll it around. I can take it with me wherever I go. So if I'm outside in public or at an event or something like that as a live painter, then I get to do that. This is my, oh my God, I love this thing. This is a workbench. I actually built it myself and it turned out really well. It rolls around so I can take it with me out to the driveway when I paint outside. It's pretty much been Old Faithful. Without it, there are a lot of paintings that I just straight up wouldn't have been able to do. Here are my regular brushes that I use on everything from big to small. You know, I like to keep it organized. And then these are my soft brushes that I use for more detail work, the shorter handle, so they feel more like pencils. This is just a little bottle and a big can of the solvent that I use, which is made from lemons, which is pretty cool. It's like lemon oil solvent. This is what happens when you don't take care of a paintbrush. So like, I'm guilty too. I don't always clean up when I'm finished, and I would never let something like this happen to these brushes. These are my babies. This was like 99 cents. That can out of here. But now I have like paint on my thumb, and that's fantastic. This is how I get paint all over my stuff. This is a piece that I did maybe a year and a half ago, but I'm actually repairing it right now. I had to repair it a little bit. You probably can't even tell that it was ever damaged, but it fell off of my wall and I had to fix it, take it out of the frame because the frame cracked. And you can even see like this spot here that still needs to be repaired. I know what to do, I got it. And then I'm gonna refinish it with a varnish, about 3, maybe 4 layers, just depending on how it's looking, and it's gonna be awesome. You know, I think that's it. I think that's pretty much the whole studio. So thank you for following this entire video, and hopefully you kind of got some insight into how I work and what I do. Thanks a lot.